Well, anyway, I'm going to continue with the webinar as promised, and obviously this webinar is going to be recorded. Now, what I'm going to do is firstly go through several slides just to give you a bit of introduction as to who I am, and then I'm going to continue with the topic. Okay, so I'm ready to start, and welcome to the webinar to those who've already are on the call and have access to the link. So I'm going to continue with the webinar. In fact, I'm just going to put up a post on Teespring University so people can join. So I'm just going to give this a couple of minutes and we can continue. Can you all hear me? Sorry, I think I had this on mute. Okay. Yes, brilliant. Okay. Now, what I was emphasizing here is that the main negativity right now when selling shirts is wrong targeting. Now, wrong targeting can mean no one will buy your shirt. When was the last time any of you guys ran a t-shirt campaign and you've not sold a single shirt? I've done it. I can remember when I ran my first 2 campaigns, I didn't sell a single shirt. And that was because of the wrong targeting. It was mainly down to a lot of other things as well. But the bulk of my problem was in the wrong targeting. So no one bought my shirt. Okay? It's like basically going to a busy shopping mall. Okay? And you've got a shop, you're selling clothes, and if the majority of the people in your shop are 60 and over, and you're selling sports clothes or sports equipment, then you're not going to get many potential buyers. So you have to have the right marketing, you have to have the right targeting. Okay. One of the problems I find is right now is people give up easily. Okay. So when people create a t-shirt campaign, they give up easily. Okay. And I've heard a lot of stories where people have got a campaign going, it's not really done well, and they just give up easily. Now, that's not the way forward. Giving up, I've had occasions where I've had really bad campaigns where I've not really sold a single shirt, and I end up spending so much money. And then, I'm thinking, okay, do I still want to start selling shirts? Of course I do, because, it's profitable. Another problem is people have wasted their money going for the wrong keywords. So when they create a campaign, people have literally spent $100, $50, $200, and they've come back to me and said, look, I've not made any money. I've spent $100. And then I say to these guys, let me see your campaign. Let me see your keywords. What are you doing? So most of the problem is they've not followed the simple steps of targeting. Okay? So why do people fail at targeting? Well, the thing I want to emphasize is most people go after the wrong interest. Okay? So going after the wrong interest, they go after the wrong keyword, they go after the wrong design. Okay? Another thing is competition. So if someone else is selling a t-shirt on Nurse, or if someone else is selling a t-shirt on Father's Day or Bikers, then they're going after the wrong keyword, and also the fact that if the competitor is selling the similar shirt, they're not going to want to sell the shirt themselves because they're scared of competition. But again, I've sold hundreds of shirts, and I'm in a niche right now where my competitor is selling hundreds and hundreds of shirts, and I'm also selling hundreds of shirts. I'm using his keywords, but I'm using different designs. I'm doing things differently. So competition, that's one of the reasons why people fail. Okay, and also if you're in the wrong niche, if you're in the wrong market, then you will fail, because the last thing you want to do is go after a market where there's not enough money to be made. Okay. Knowledge of Facebook ads. This is number one, guys. Time and time again, I get people coming to me and saying, Manni, I'm completely new to Teespring. I am completely new. What do I do when it comes to selling shirts? Well, I say my answer is, do you have knowledge of Facebook ads? Do you guys know the basics of PPE advertising? Do you guys know the basics of retargeting? Once you've mastered the basics of Facebook ads, you will succeed. Okay? And this is another excuse people give. They've all done it. I suck at selling shirts. No, you don't. My answer is simple. You don't suck at selling shirts. We all possess the ability to sell shirts online if you've got the right formula, if you've got the right tools, if you've given the right training, you will succeed. So one of the most popular sort of questions that I've been asked in forums and groups is people posting links on various different campaigns. So for example, this one you can see this campaign sold over nearly 2,000 shirts, and presumably this campaign keeps running and running and running. This one is a campaign which I've sort of kept a close eye on. It's in the pitbull niche, a niche which I'm familiar with, and I've sold many shirts in this niche. This original campaign was created in February, okay, and the person is relaunching the same campaign over and over again. Again, this is all down to using the right keywords, using the right targeting, using the right formula, using the right methods, okay. This is another one. This one sold over 603 shirts. This is another niche which I was involved in. I sold 300 shirts in this niche. I was relaunching campaigns over and over again, and all it was down to was the right targeting. That's all I did. So what is the answer? Again, targeting. So in this case, I call it smart targeting. I call it smart targeting for a reason. Because when you're doing your targeting online and you're trying to sell shirts, you have to stand out from everyone else. You have to do it the smart way. It's like when you learn how to drive. Okay, remember when you first learnt how to drive a car and you're completely new, and then your instructor, he gives you training every single week, and every single week you're developing skills. You're developing those elements that are going to make you into a driver. So the same principle, the same concept can be applied to selling shirts online. You need to pick up those skills. You need to be smart. Okay, you need to be smart when it comes to targeting. So what is smart targeting? Okay, well, most of you probably asked this question. Quite simply, is finding winning interests and using them over and over again. So if I create a Pitbull t-shirt, if I want to create a campaign on Pitbulls, I'm going to go for the winning interests, the interests that are always going to be full of hungry buyers. So I'm going to keep targeting that same interest, okay? Finding a winning niche and relaunching campaigns every week. How many of you here have the same niche? How many of you here are creating different campaigns for different markets? What I usually do, I usually keep the same niche and simply dominate that niche. And my current niche, I've made thousands and thousands of dollars, and I've been running this niche. I've been running shirts for this niche since 2014, and I've not revealed this niche to anyone because, if it's paying my bills, I'm not going to reveal it to my competitor, okay? Finding the hungry buyers, putting your shirt in front of targeted eyeballs, okay, that is also part of smart targeting. Finding these hungry buyers, putting your shirt in front of these targeted eyeballs, okay? So what is my simple strategy? What is my simple strategy? Okay, who wants to know what my simple strategy is? Come on, I want to see you guys interact I wanna see you guys interact. Valerie says me. Brilliant. Fantastic. See, I like to I like to build a relationship with everyone who's wanting to learn, who wants to learn. I like to keep learning fun. I like to help people. I want people to take action. The last thing I want is people, at the end of this webinar, they walk away and, they don't really know what to do. Then just forget about what I talked about. So I want people to sort of interact and, take action. So the first thing you want to do is do the right research. You need to do the right research. If you don't do the right research, you're going to fail. If you're going to create a campaign on dogs, pit bulls, you need to go out there. You need to go onto Pinterest. You need to go onto Instagram. You need to go onto Google Images, eBay. You need to see what's already selling. You need to go onto tvu.com, teescover.com, all of these sites where that shows you the shirts that are selling well. You need to do your research and see what already is out there, what's selling well, what people are buying. Okay, you need to find the right design. This is very important, guys. Designs, new trends change every single year, every single month. There's different trends. This girl loves pit bulls. This guy loves pit bulls. These were trends. These designs were really popular a couple of years ago. But now, we're in 2015. The market is demanding fresh designs. They're literally demanding new designs, How many times have you gone onto Instagram or Pinterest and seen a lot of shares? People are like, I want this t-shirt. I want this. And you look at the design, it's a simple design, but it's got a nice catchphrase to it. So you need to find the right design. And also, the tool in your possession right now, guys, and it's completely free, is Audience Insights. Please don't confuse this with Audience Intersect. Audience Intersect is a third-party tool, okay, which I don't personally use because it's crap. It's just going to distract you. But Audience Insights is an official tool that is given to you by Facebook. It's literally given to you, and it's made my life easier. Audience Insights. So, how do I use Audience Insights? Well, basically, Audience Insights allows me to find the places where there's going to be hungry buyers. So, let's say I'm selling a t-shirt on bikers. All I've got to do is go onto Audience Insights, and that will allow me to see where these hungry buyers are. Okay? It will allow me to see the pages for those keywords, where people are on those keywords, what are their demographics, what are their age groups, So in terms of the demographics, it allows me to see the age groups, the salary, what these people are buying, what their buying habits are, etc. I'm going to show you shortly how I use this. It gives me all the tools I need to run an effective Facebook ads t-shirt campaign. Okay, so how many people here have heard of Audience Insights or have used Audience Insights? Okay. Jennifer said she's heard about this, but she's not used this. Valerie, she's used this. Okay, fantastic. So I'm going to give you my smart targeting strategy. Basically, it boils down to these main things. First of all, what you do is make a list of the interests in your niche. So for example, if you're selling a shirt on pit bulls, you're going to make a list of all the main keywords that you find are very popular keywords. Okay, you can make a list of these keywords, and you can, in Notepad or whatever you want to use. Okay, you're going to look for the affinity of these keywords, interests in audience insights. So the affinity, which I'll talk to you about shortly. And then you're going to filter down to 6 to 7 main interests you want to target. So you delete the ones that you don't really want to sort of use, and then you focus on the ones that you do want to use. Okay, and then you create the ad. Okay, so far I hope this is all making sense to you guys. I don't really want to confuse you further. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to log on to Audience Insights. Just give me a second. Okay, 1 second. I'm still here, by the way. I'm just going to log on to Audience Insights. Okay, let's have a look. Audience Insights. Okay, I'm just going to show you my screen now again. Oops. Okay, if you can see the screen, let me know. Yeah, okay, cool. People can see the screen. Right, okay. This is Audience Insights, and I actually love this. I really love this. And the first thing is, I'm going to give you an example of a niche. So in this case, the niche I'm going to focus on is bikers. And bikers have been in the news as well for fighting. They've been in the news for the wrong reasons. They've been in the news for the right reasons. But the fact of the matter is, the bikers niche is huge. The bikers niche is huge, guys. I mean, let's go to Wikipedia. You know, let's have a look at, go to Wikipedia, and you can see people who are part of these motorcycle clubs, and you know they're in membership of bikers. They've got their own membership. I mean, even in the UK where I live in Manchester, there's bikers. There's actually bikers who actually have their own communities, and they come out at a certain time and they all like to sort of race each other. You know, so it's really cool. So let's say you've got a T-shirt on bikers. Let's just go to Google T-shirts. As you can see, there's a ton of T-shirts and bikes here. Okay, that's a good one. Why I ride a motorbike. Therapy. You will never see a biker outside a shrink's office. So all of these different biker T-shirts. Okay, so if I've got a T-shirt on bikers and I want to sell this, you know, to my market, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to type in the keyword bikers. Okay, now you can see here. Okay, I'm just going to type in other keywords. Oh, Harley Davidson. Okay, so basically, as you can see, I'm typing in biker related keywords, right? Okay, I've got an 8 million audience, but as you can see, you don't want to run an ad to this big, huge audience. You want to be smart. So the first thing I do is I head over to page likes, okay? And then what I do is I look at the keywords that appear under categories here. The first thing I do is look at this one here, affinity. So basically in affinity, anything that's over 10 or above, you're going to want to target. So for example, let's say I take off this keyword here, this one. This is going to change here. These numbers are going to change. Let's just say I'm going to take off this one. Okay. And then I'm just going to focus on men. Okay, I'm just going to focus on men. And then I'm going to type in bikers post. Let's take off Harley Davidson and type in. So here we can see bikerspost.com. It's got an affinity of 33. How many of you here would target this keyword? How many of you here would target this keyword, bikerspost.com? Would you target this? Brilliant. Valerie says she would. Who else would target this keyword? Who else would target this keyword? Come on, guys, I want some interaction. Come on. I want you guys to get this right, because what really frustrates me is a ton of gurus, they're launching these products and people, they're confusing the crap out of everyone, you know. But I want you guys, you know, to get this right, you know. And I'm not even charging you guys for this webinar. I don't even have any pitch at the end. This is pure content. Brilliant. Jennifer says she would. Brilliant. Okay. Right. The first thing is I would target this keyword. And the reason being is it's got an affinity. It's got a beautiful affinity of 33. Let's have a look at this page. Yeah, this is look, it's controversial. It's got engagement. Because these guys, this is a perfect time to launch a t-shirt on bikers, because they're getting really bad news right now. I mean, that fight that happened in the States, they're getting really bad press right now. Who in their right mind, you know, would go out there and start saying, "Oh, I hate all bikers"? You know, you can't say that just because of this fight that happened. But honestly, this is just look at these different sort of engagement on the website, on this page. So I would go out there and create. I would target this keyword. I would definitely do that. Okay. So this is what you need to do. You need to copy this into your notepad. Okay. Okay. Bikers post. Okay. And there's the next one. You scroll down. Chopperexchange.com. Let's have a look at this. If this is to do anything with bikers. Online classifieds for all American V10 motorcycles. Yes, it has something to do with bikers. So yes, this could possibly be in our list. Okay. So let's see if that appears. Shopper. Yeah, it does. Fantastic. Okay. Brilliant. That appears as well. Bikeornot.com. Bikeornot.com. No, that doesn't appear. Okay. So what you do is you basically go onto Audience Insights, plug in these keywords, you go through this list. So in the affinity section here, anything that's above 10, you're going to want to target. So anything that's related to bikers. So in this case, we've got biker t-shirts. That would be amazing to target. Biker t-shirts. No, that's not available as an interest. You got Easy Rider magazine. So you got magazines, associations, memberships. So Easy Rider magazine. Let's have a look. The world's largest selling motorcycle magazine for men. Yeah, I would target this. So just type in Easy Riders magazine. Easy Riders magazine. No, that doesn't appear. No. Oh, there it is. It appears. Yes. Okay. So far, if you've got any questions, let me know. And just look at the affinity for this keyword, 62. That's amazing. So we're going to target let's look for another keyword. Scroll down. We got legendary motorcycles, we got street chopper, we got Baggers magazine. Okay, hot bike magazine. Okay, that's about bikers. So Baggers magazine, perfect. Okay. Baggers magazine, we got a ton of different keywords, guys. This is like, I'm like a kid in a candy shop, you know, with all these different keywords. Seriously, this is amazing, because look at the affinity of some of these pages. I mean, it's got Sons of Arthritis. What is that? I've never even heard of this. This is definitely, I think this is to do with bikers, possibly. Yeah, it's got biker t-shirts. So let's type in Sons of I don't think that would come up as a keyword. Sons of, nope. Okay, you got Motorcycle Cruiser. You got Cycle Source magazine. I mean, you got biker tattoo. Let's type in biker tattoo. Yeah, look. I mean, now as you can see, we've got some really nice keywords here. This might seem like a laborious task, but honestly, it's going to be worth it when you do this. There's a question by Jennifer, and Jennifer says, does the design need to target all the bikers in general? No, you don't really need to target all the bikers. What you do is you find a design online that's something to do with bikers. You know, it could be something to do with bikers in general, and then you just look for the main sort of Facebook pages or interests where people would be interested in that concept, in that design, in that shirt. So I don't really know much about this niche in terms of the different types of bikers. I do know the people who ride Harley Davidsons. They've got beards and they wear leather jackets, and you know, they're really mean. They've got tattoos on, and you know, they'll love their motorbikes. But it's mainly about the design. It's mainly about the design. Okay. So as you can see, once you've got a bunch of these different keywords, what I like to do is, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can continue adding more keywords to this. Okay. You can continue adding more keywords. What I like to do is I like to target these keywords, and I've been doing this for some time now. Is to target these keywords by one by one. So, for example, let's take off the other keywords. So let's just take off that. Let's take off that. Let's take off this. Let's take off this. So look at this. We've got bikerspost.com. We've got a really nice audience of 450 to 500k. Let's look at demographics. Now we can see the majority of the. Okay, let's click on all. Okay, let's click on all, and you can see we've got a proportion of women and men who are into Bikers Post. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to head over to 25 and over. Okay, let me just click on default. Let me just firstly look at the default age group. And you can see the main sort of age group is between 35 and kind of 64. Okay, so what I do is I go to 25 and 65. Okay, and in this case, what I would do is target men. Okay, you can create a campaign for women, but I target men. And you can see 40% of the men are in this age group. So how many of you here would be happy to run this as an ad? So if you've got a t-shirt that's for this community, how many of you here would go out there and run an ad on this interest? I would. Yeah, I would. Would you? I'm sure you guys would as well. I'm sure you guys would. Yep. Cool. So what you would do is you would simply create an ad. By the way, there's also going to be part 2 of this webinar, which is going to be next week. Part 2 of this webinar. So you'd go out there and create an ad, and you would run the shirt. Okay. So you would go out there, create the ad, run a PPE ad, and run the shirt. Now let's have a look at these other different keywords which I talked about. Let's take off this. Let's look at shop with exchange. Shopper exchange. Oops. Yeah. What I find is, again, this keyword is gold. This keyword is gold. Just look at, the page likes that appear here. The affinity for this one is very high. And then you look at these keywords here as well. Look what appears here. You got reckless motorcycles. Well, that's a business actually. Let's look at blessed bikers. You've got biker trash network. That's a website. Biker trash network. Let's have a look if we can target this. Biker trash. No, we can't target this, but it still appears. What else appears? We have biker clothing company. Look, that appears. Biker clothing company. Let's have a look at biker clothing company. This would be perfect to target. This would be perfect. Look at all these t-shirts to do with bikers. You can target this biker clothing company. Perfect. You can even get your ideas off here. Biker clothing company. So let's take this keyword off. And if you want to target this keyword alone, that still is a very good audience. 40,000. 40,000 in this audience. And look at the affinity, guys. 187. Now this is an extremely, and I can't emphasize the word extremely, guys. It's 10 past 1 at night, and people think I've lost it. But this is targeting at its best. For crying out loud, biker clothing company has an affinity of 187, and you can create an ad to 35 to 40k audience. You can literally go out there and dominate this keyword. How cool is that? Okay, time to answer some questions. Jennifer Venus is asking a few questions, I think. She says a keyword in all intercepts. Okay. Valerie is asking a question actually as well. Is there an amount that is too many or too little to target? That's a very good question, Valerie. The main thing is anything that's between. I don't really look at the audience size. I look at the targeting size. If it's targeted, I've created ads to 50,000 to 100,000. I've created ads to audiences of 1.2 million. Believe it or not, it's all about finding the right targeting interest, finding the right hungry market, and doing your research. So to be honest, don't really worry about the audience size. You don't really need to worry about the size of the audience, okay? Because what I've realized is if you have a really good keyword, so for example this one, this affinity is extremely high. If you've got a good keyword, you run the shirt. So from my experience, and which a lot of gurus have started doing, they've started using one or two interests, and I've been using one or two interests since a few years now, since many years now, where I'm just targeting one or two interests as opposed to targeting 15 interests or 20 interests, because what you can do is they're very easy to track. These single interests are very easy to track. You're going to come to learn more about this in the coming videos and coming webinars. Okay, let's have a look at a different keyword. Let's look at Easy Riders magazine. Easy Riders. Okay, this isn't coming up. Okay, it is coming up. Easy Riders magazine. Again, let's have a look at the affinity. Wow, check this out, guys. 160 affinity. Remember when I said anything that's 10 or above is good? 160. Let's have a look at this. Easy Riders magazine. So, number one, this is going to be aimed at men. Okay? And again, this is on bikers. Sport freedom, motor climbing, motorcycling is not a crime. Okay? Again, this is in response to the fight that happened where unfortunately a number of bikers lost their lives. We don't live in a perfect world, but the fact of the matter is, bikers are always going to be bikers. It's a passion, in the same way people who want to be racers or boxers or whatever, it's a passion. So in this case, this now is a perfect time to get on this niche, guys, and target this keyword, and just look at the affinity, 160, Let's have a look at these different keywords now. Let's take that off. We have biker tattoo. Biker tattoo. Okay. 70 to 80,000 people. Again, high affinity. Let's have a look at the Facebook page. This is mainly on tattoos. Again, you can get away with t-shirts. Someone's already got a t-shirt here. Let's have a look. Let's have a look how much he's made. Oh, he sold 8. Wow. Okay, that's good. Motorcycles make me happy. You, not so much. Again, that's pretty cool. Well, this page has 406,000 people. And as you can see, if you look at the shares, people obviously are happy, but it's got no comments. So, would you target this keyword? Hell yeah, you would. Hell yeah, you would. And then we've got Baggers magazine. Just type in. Who here understands the targeting, the smart targeting I'm talking about? So who here has so far understood what I'm talking about? Fantastic. Ray says yes. Valerie says I do. Jennifer says I'm still a bit not clear. That's understandable. That's fine. Jennifer is totally acceptable. if you don't understand this for the first time, because again, you know, I like it when people ask me questions. I really like interaction. You know, I'm not just the guy who runs the Teespring University group. You know, I'm more than an admin. I'm here to help you guys. You know, the last thing I want you guys to do is feel like you've not gotten any value out of this webinar. You know, because the aim is to give you value and at the same time to get you guys asking me questions. CC Champion is asking, can you please go over which ones not to target when it comes to affinity? Yes. Okay. So CC, when it comes to affinity, I'm gonna be avoiding affinities that have like a score of 8 or 7 or 6. So for example, let's just type in bikers here, just in general. Okay. As you can see, there's nothing that's really come up here. Okay, let's type in. Okay, let me just type in cars. Okay, let me just type in cars. Okay, fast cars. Okay, so again, these are the keywords I'm going to avoid. I'm going to avoid this. I'm going to avoid anything that's with this low affinity. Okay, so basically anything that's with low affinity, you're gonna basically avoid. So for in the case of the bikers niche, okay, so in the case of the bikers niche, easy is just type in bikers post. So in the case of this, you would go for this keyword, you would go for this, you would go for this one here, you would go for this one if it applies to your t-shirt, you would go for this one, leathers on. Let's have a look at this one. Okay, this here says as an affinity of 22. Okay, so if I type this in, okay, that doesn't appear, unfortunately, as a keyword, but you get the point. What about, Mohammed is asking a question, what about Facebook ad message content? We're going to come to that in the later sort of webinars. We'll come to that, but for this one, this is mainly on targeting. So I wanted to get these guys, because this is the difficult part, guys. Everything else will make sense. So this is the keyword leathers on. Let me just see, it should appear here. Okay, leathers on. Now, as you can see, this keyword affinity has changed. The reason it's changed is because we're just targeting this keyword alone, and audience insights, we're telling audience insights that if we were to run an ad on this keyword alone, what would the chances be of people responding to our content? So, you know, it is 36, which is good. So this is the actual, so it's a magazine for people who like Harley Davidson. Very much good content on here, lots of shares and engagement. Okay, so this is what you guys, so if you've got a niche right now, this is a concept you use. You literally, and this niche here, guys, this is huge. Honestly, you don't even have to worry about competition, because some of these keywords which I've given you here, I mean, just look at the engagement. You could look at the affinity scores on this. It's absolutely amazing, guys. You can have a list of all the different keywords, or you can hire a virtual assistant to, you know, keep track of all the list, or a spreadsheet of all the different keywords you're going to use for your campaigns. And then you can decide which one's going to be which. My current campaign that I'm running, I'm using the same concept of smart targeting, and I've sold three shirts and I've only spent about $5. Yeah, $5. So that itself is telling me that this concept works, guys. Roger Moore, he says, I thought this was supposed to start 8 p.m. EDT time. Roger, there was a bit of a problem with the time. Many people weren't sure, but it was supposed to start EDT time, US Eastern time, 8:30. So, but this webinar is being recorded, so it's all good. Jennifer is asking me, can you please do a quick Independence Day smart targeting? What is? Would you mean July the 4th, Independence Day? Right. Okay. I'm not really familiar with the American national holidays or any. Mainly my geography about America is really poor in some parts. I can try Independence Day. I know there's a movie. That's a movie. So this must be 4th of July. There's a novel. There's Independence Day. There you go. Okay, let's have a look. What would you target? Okay, cool. Would we target this keyword? You damn right we would. This is a perfect keyword. It's got an affinity of 35. Let's have a look. Okay, this is just an interest. So you can still target this as an ad, which is good. Let's have a look. American as F. Would you target this? Yes, you would, because this is patriotic. This is who's proud to be an American here, and I'm sure most of you are. This is perfect. So what is this keyword? American has F. Let me just type in American has F. That doesn't appear as an interest, unfortunately, but let me have a look at Screaming Owl. What is Screaming Owl? That's nothing to do with America. So what you do is basically, if you're going to be targeting Independence Day, guys, I would target this main keyword here. I will look at the demographics. And I would target women, because as you can see, women 65%. And I would target 25 and 65. And this also sort of cuts our audience down. As you can see, the audience is 600 to 700. And if we go on to page likes now, okay, you can see this appears as a holiday, Independence Day. You might want to target this. No, you don't. I wouldn't target this. Let's look at the affinity. I wouldn't want to target this. But what you can do is maybe you can type in 4th of July or Born on the 4th of July. That's a movie with Tom Cruise, which I remember growing up, and it was a very successful movie. But again, the same concept of smart targeting can work on almost any niche, Right, I can see people are still joining the webinar. There's quite a few people in the webinar, which is good. Again, this is recorded. Any more questions, guys, before I depart? I'm just going to have a bottle of ice cold water. You're welcome, Ray. You're welcome. Mohammed is asking a question on what is the budget we should have to promote our campaign. What I would do, guys, always start with a $5 to $10 budget. A $5 to $10 budget, guys. No more, no less. $5 to be on the safe side. No, Jennifer says, but that's not enough. Very good question, Jennifer. The reason you start off with a $5 budget or a $10 budget is you firstly want to test to see if this is going to be a success. Now, we can tell if a campaign is going to be a success based on the CTR, the click-through rate, the engagement, whether people are commenting on. I'm going to talk more about this in the coming videos, guys, in the coming webinars or anything that I post. But I'm going to emphasize all that. But this one, I wanted to get down the smart targeting way. So anything that you want to target. So let me just give you another example, guys. So let's say, let's go to this case. Sorry, let's just go to this one here. This T-shirt here, guys. I'm called Papa because I'm way too cool to be called grandfather. Let me just give you, let's say you were targeting grandparents. What you would do is you'd target, you'd go to interests, type in grandparents, okay, or grandparents or any other words that are related to grandparents. So and then you would come here, or just take up this keyword, see if that comes up on here. Sometimes you will have tricky sort of niches like this. So I love my grandchildren. So you can target keywords like this. I love my grandchildren. And then what you would get is situations where you're going to get these different sort of interests on here. You can keep thinking, but this doesn't really relate to my niche. So for example, this one here, what the hell is this? You know, and this is a sporting goods store, you know. But what you do, guys, is you look at the age group. So with grandparents, if you do 50 and above, okay, 50 and above, and then you can see which ones would be worth targeting. So again, this, I would just type in, I love my grandkids, okay. I actually ran a shirt based on trial and error. I just targeted this keyword here, grandparents.com. This is the only keyword I targeted, and I sold hundreds and hundreds of shirts. So you can just see, so let's have a look. I love my grandkids. So again, see, we're not going to get any pages where it's going to be strictly about grandparents. And this is the tougher. This type of example is where when things get tricky. So if you're going to be in a situation like this, guys, you have to be smart. So what you do is you basically focus on the keyword, only one keyword. So in this case, grandparents.com. Let's have a look. So 40 to 50,000 audience. So we know from this is probably a website. So head over to Google. Romeo has just joined us, ladies and gentlemen, and he's asking a question. He says, "Are we near the end?" Unfortunately, we are. But the good news is there's a replay. That this webinar is being recorded. Okay, so guys, this is a Facebook page I'm targeting. Okay, look, this is to do with grandparents, and it's highly engaged page. Okay, and you can see perfect. We don't know the affinity of this because it doesn't really appear here, But from looking at the page, we can see this would get a lot of people from this page who would be, interested in your design. So as you can see, guys, this is how you do smart targeting. So any questions? Is there anything you're not sure of? Jennifer's asking a question. Could last 7 days where you go through all stages and make sales a full 7-day campaign webinar? Well, Jennifer, I do have plans for something like that, so don't worry. Shaheen has asked a question. Please, Manni, what you think about the movie niche? Well, the movie niche is huge. I'm actually running a campaign right now in the movie niche. In fact, it's my 10th campaign. It's done really well. It's never been pulled, or there's nothing to do with copyrights. I'm not breaking any copyright. So the movie niche is huge. In fact, I'm going to have a webinar one day just on the movie niche, because I did write a report about this a month ago. So it's huge. Please, can I get the registration link of the webinar? The recording of this webinar will be posted after 24 hours. Okay, so I guarantee you this webinar is being recorded. So anything that I've talked about in the webinar, you're going to get. You're welcome. Okay. If you've got any more questions, keep asking. Now, what we've learnt from this webinar is basically the concept of smart targeting. Okay, so when I'm running a campaign on t-shirts, okay, so for example, just look at this t-shirt. This has sold nearly 2,000, and this campaign's been going for a long time. What I've done is made a note of the link, the page. This is the Facebook page of this t-shirt. Let me just copy and paste. It's called Pitbull Society. Okay. And as you can see, anything to do with pit bulls, it's on here. So what I do is, if I'm going to be looking at my competition, or I just look at the photos and see if there's any photos or of shirts that they've been running. So for example, let's have a look. I'm just going to pause this. I'm not going to pause this. I'm just going to take the link of the Teespring link, and as you can see, this appears on here. What I'm looking at is I'm looking for the actual ad for this t-shirt. So let's have a look. Yes, this is the actual t-shirt. Okay. So if you look at the t-shirt, it says the Pitbull Prayer. And I've seen similar niches, for example, cars, where there's text on the shirt that says car prayer, or nurse prayer, and there's like quotes. So this one says, I wish for no one else to be hurt the way those humans hurt me. I hope they learn that I have feelings I can love and I can suffer. But most of all, Lord, let them know that as a dog and as a pit bull, I forgive them. So people can relate to something like this, guys. So this is what people love. And this shirt is the design is at the back. So let's see if you can locate the Facebook page. I think it's this one here. Okay, let's look at this. This is the actual shirt, and as you can see, if you've got a really good designer, you can get him to make something similar like this. And it says here, okay, I've lost the shirt. Okay, let's go back. Let's go back here. Yeah, there we go. So if you've got a good designer, get them to make something like this. And it says buy a shirt, help a dog. And it doesn't even include the price. I personally don't include the price of the shirt on my ad. I never include words such as 10% off or $10 off, because it's gonna be off-putting. You know, what I like to do is I like to just put words such as buy a shirt, help a dog, tag your friends, limited edition, and then look at this, the Pitbull Prayer. This shirt says it all. This must have every Pitbull owner tag a Pitbull lover. And as you can see, this person is quite literally relaunching the same campaign over and over again. Okay, let's look at this. Let's look at the comments. 9 hours ago, May the 23rd, April the 6th, where can I order mine? And let's look at this. I think this person is using a redirect link. Okay, it's a PPE ad. He sold another couple, I think. I think it's the same shirt. Yeah, Pitbull Prayer. So how would I target this? This webinar has actually been extended now because I was meant to go. But anyway, let me just continue. So how would I target this niche? So let's go to Audience Insights. Let's take off this. Let's do the defaults. Okay. Right, okay. So how would I target this? The first thing that I would do is type in Pitbulls. Not the rapper. I know there's a rapper, Pitbull the rapper, but he's not a Pitbull. Pitbulls, okay. The first thing is I type in the main keyword. As you can see, the audience size is in millions. Okay. So the next thing I do is head over to Audience Insights categories, and we can see we got these different keywords. So I can type in something like I love Pitbulls. This is pitbullsarea.com. Let's have a look at this. Let's type in Pitbulls. Okay, that doesn't appear as an interest. We've got the positive Pitbull. Yep, that appears. I'm going to go onto Notepad, type in these keywords. Okay, scroll down. Right, okay, and we have this one here, Pitbulls and Parolees. Going to make a note of this. No, not going to make a note of this. We're going to make a note of this keyword. Some pages won't show up, and some interests won't show up on here because that's just the way it is. You know, we don't live in a perfect world, so you just got to deal with it. So you just go on to the next keyword, the positive Pitbull. That doesn't appear. So again, you want to focus on magazines. You want to look at Pitbull stuff So in this case, pitbulls. So right, okay, the next thing you do is you basically take these keywords, okay, obviously paste them on Notepad, which I have, that's fine, and then what you do is look at these on a single basis. So for example, let's say I just want to focus on this keyword only, so let's take that off, take that off, take that off, take that off. Okay, and look at the affinity, 16, that's okay, it's not bad. And then, so is this a keyword that you're going to go after? I probably would, but I'm going to look at the demographics first of all and see which gender is responding the most. Women mainly, so I'm going to target women. Okay, so I'm going to target possibly 25 and over. Okay, let's have a look at page likes. Okay, so we have other ones here, so take off this, we have positive pitbull. Okay, that's a slightly high affinity. Would you go after this keyword? Yep, I would. Let's have a look at this page. Highly engaged page. Yep. It's a page for, and look at these guys. They're actually running running shirts from their page as we speak. People rescue shirts. Okay. So again, we have high affinity. That's fine. Let's have a look at pit bulls or there we go. I wouldn't really target this keyword, but there's this keyword here, so this matches 22 affinity. I would target this keyword. And the final one, I love pit bulls. Again, single based interest. Jennifer says, I want a pit bull now. Well, Jennifer, I don't really trust pit bulls. I like other dogs, but pit bulls, every time I go out and I see a pit bull, I don't like pit bulls. I don't trust pit bulls. I think mainly because I got chased by a pit bull when I was 12 years old. But that's a different story. So you can see this is an affinity of 20. So I would again target this keyword. So the point I'm making in this video, guys, again, you have a ton of keywords here. Pit bulls have my heart. Let's just see if that's available. No, okay. The point is, there's a ton of keywords out there like this that you can just make a list of all the keywords, plug them in, look at the affinity score, look at the Facebook page, and then go after that. There's another one here which I found, unexpected pitbull. Okay. Let's have a look. Okay, would I go after this? Yes, I would. This is a winning. Look, guys, look. Just give me 1 second, guys. I'm just going to get my charger for my laptop. Just give me 2 seconds. Right guys, I'm back. Yes, so where was I? So yes, this is a winning keyword, guys. The unexpected pitbull, 121 affinity. Let's have a look at the keyword. Okay, so this keyword, as you can see, this is actually a website as well, and it's very responsive, a lot of engagement, 346,000 people. So again, you know, smart targeting works almost for any niche, not just for t-shirts. You can even use the same concept to run ads in different markets for different things. Okay. So Jennifer's asked a question. Would be the only interest you target and forget about the other ones? Well, what I do, Jennifer, is a very good question. Let's say you want to target this interest. Okay. So yes, no, yes, yes. So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's say we want to run an ad to these 4 interests, right? What we do is create a separate ad. We create a separate ad for each interest. So if you've got an interest like this, we create a separate ad for this, and then the other interest we create a separate ad for that interest. And then what we can do, you can see the interest, the one that performs the best, we stick with it. The one that isn't performing, we kill it. So I'm going to talk about that more in the coming sort of videos and stuff, you know. And I've got other sort of really cool stuff I want to talk to you about in many other videos. But again, I'm afraid I'm going to have to say I'm going to wrap this webinar up. If you've enjoyed this webinar, please leave me feedback on Teespring University. And if you've enjoyed this webinar, please let me know. If you've got some value out of this content. I'm really happy you guys who've attended this webinar. If it's late in your part of the world, I totally respect that. So again, if you've enjoyed this webinar, I'm really happy. So Daniel, yes, I'm just rounding up. The webinar has been recorded from start to finish, so a replay would be posted on the group and a link will be given to you. Anyone who wants a copy of this webinar, you'll get this after 24 hours, because it's going to take a while to upload. Okay. Final question is from Ambastak. How many interests should be extracted for any? Again, I would focus on 7 interests or 8 interests and run ads to all of these interests with high affinity. Do you use Audience Insight? Yes, I do, Daniel. Audience Insight, not to be confused with Audience Intersect. Audience Intersect is a third-party tool. I stay away from third-party tools because, you know, they just confuse you. But Audience Insights is a gold mine. No, I don't use Audience Intersect. I don't really see the benefits of using Audience Intersect. I only use what Facebook has provided me with. And final question from Janine. If I found a quote on a Facebook and people like it and share it, do you think it's a good idea to run? Go ahead. Yes, by all means. If it doesn't break any copyright, use the quotes on t-shirts. You know, you can use quotes. I've done it myself. Perfect audience size, Daniel, anything from 50,000 and above, 100,000, 500,000. I've even run ads to 1 million. I've even, you know, run ads to 1 million audiences. It doesn't really matter about the audience size as long as you've got the targeting right. Anyway, guys, thank you for everyone who's joined this webinar. And I'm going to have some really cool stuff again in the next coming days on the group itself anyway. You're welcome, and I hope you all have a great evening, and God bless. And wherever you are in parts of the world, India, USA, America, Australia, UK, Canada, God bless you all, and peace out. Bye bye.